Hey, I'm Jim the GM, and this is episode 15 in our season 2 of our Eotha Chronicles. I only have with me tonight three of our fine gentlemen, our players, Clyde, Joseph, and Matt, because at the end of last session, Caleb's character, Tanrin, uh, he died he died at the end of the combat. Um, and so, picking up right where we've left off with Tanner's body having been. Did we pull him up on the edge or did he sink?
Swiper retrieved him.
Swiper did what to him?
Swiper pulled him back onto the land and then tried to heal him, but he was dead.
And what about Isaac Clark?
I think we were retrieving him as well. I believe I went to retrieve my companion first, and then Isaac Clark second.
All right. Isaac Clark is currently unconscious and is going to stay that way for a few hours.
I suppose I could revive him with a heal. It does look awfully peaceful, though. I'll attempt to cast Cure Wounds on Isaac. If that's all right with you.
Okay.
So you see the tiefling kind of kneels down, kind of a bit disturbed by the fact that she couldn't save her other companion, and she channels the energy of nature into Isaac, attempting to at least bring one of her two companions back to life.
Channeling the energy into him, you will watch Isaac Clark eyes slowly open, looking to the three of you. And his mouth begins to move, but no sound comes out. He props himself up on an arm, fiddles with his ears. And you see him mouthing words, realizing he can no longer talk.
I would pause, kind of looking over him. Can you describe the area we're currently in? I know we're on the island, surrounded by a little water, right, and all the different islands.
Yep, there's the six island landings that have that are honestly pillars coming straight out from the depths of the water that are 15 foot in diameter.
Are these stone pillars, or are they?
Yes, they're made out of stone. But the landings that you're on, the islands, are as pillars. If there wasn't water, they would come up to here and just stop off with a great drop off rather than the water.
Okay. Isaac, you appear a bit mute. You all right? Perhaps it'd be better served if we could get you somewhere safe and perhaps put a quill in your hand. You seem to have had quite the troubling wardrobe.
As he nods his head and he'll start to push himself up, you watch him shudder in pain as he falls back onto the stony ground, grabbing at his ribs. He looks at you all.
I'll help him up.
As you go to reach for him, he winces and moves away from you.
Nero will attempt to see what he can figure out about what's wrong. He will gesture to Isaac's shirt or whatever he's wearing to see whether Nero can lift it and see what he can see of the form of his torso beneath, and make a medicine check.
He gingerly lies down and lets you pull up his shirt.
So I got an 18.
From the way that you see the way the torso looks with the obvious fresh bruising. I remember this Isaac Clarke was wrapped by a tentacle and held on tightly and drug around under the water as the creature that you previously killed moved around with him. He's suffering from literally he is suffering from some really bad internal bleeding. You even assume that you can't really tell what, but his injuries are pretty severe on the inside.
Yeah. So I would look to the others with a look of concern, and I would say, I've seen men crushed in the line of battle when defending a siege, being driven by great planks of wood into their chests by these driven machines, and this looks like that, like he's been stuck between an anvil and a hammer.
So how are we gonna get him up if he won't?
How are we gonna get him up? He props himself back up on his arms, shakes, laboringly moves up his arm.
You wanna stay here?
And he lays back down. He looks over at you and nods.
All right, Isaac. I don't wish to be that person, but there are many people above that need you. I can assist in your healing somewhat, although I'm not a cleric. I can perhaps mitigate your wounds somewhat. You're acting a bit strange. It would be a lot easier if you could explain to us what is going on here.
Props himself up even more. Frustration on his face. And he begins to mouth words. And you can hear the air passing out of his mouth. Almost even as if he's pushing as hard as he possibly can with the torn up abdomen to force the air to vibrate his vocal folds. But
all right, I know this is a bit unusual. You're gonna have to write this down for me. And you'd see Pyre would look through her bag, and she has a cartography set, which is obviously made for drawing out maps and such. But she kind of just grumbles a bit and hands him the the very expensive-looking parchments and her drawing utensil, and kind of gestures for him to write down something, whatever he needs to say to them.
He, again, his movement's labored and heavy, takes the pen, takes the quill and the ink, or whatever magic pen you might have on you, lays the paper out, and begins to write, and you can see quickly goes, I can't make sound. If I can't speak, casting will be even more of an issue than trying to get me up there.
Nero sees what's written on the paper, and even though the spell doesn't cover this, Nero will attempt to cast Lesser Restoration on Isaac. It covers deafness and it covers blindness, but technically, according to the wording of the spell, not muteness. But he'll attempt it anyway. He'll look up to the gods and he'll sort of mutter something. And what he mutters underneath his breath is, you know this man and what he can do for this village, what he has done, and he needs his voice back. And then I would push my hands just gently onto his chest and hope that that has some sort of effect.
Your hands begin to glow with the light of your healing. And as the light begins to go out, Clark looks up at you.
All right. Could you perhaps explain to us how you have managed to lose your voice? Did this creature steal it from you?
He rolls over, begins to write. And it says, I do not believe I lost my voice because of this creature. This has been coming on for a while now. The ancient texts of the Devas in the time of Garn Stonehelm. The fire Deva was called Azat Klan. He stops. He laughs. And you watch him scribble off to the side, Isaac Clark, beside Azat Klan. The stories say Azat Klan was a mute. He circles it, underlines it, puts the pen down, leans back.
All right, Isaac. So are you just going to refuse your obligations back in the city since you're unable to speak now? There are a lot of people up there that believe in you, even if you perhaps don't believe in yourself. Although you may not be able to cast a spell, I would imagine that they would feel secure just knowing you're there. But you wish to wallow here in the darkness and your own misery, I suppose. I cannot force you.
Nero looks over to him and sort of goes, well, you're a bit harsh sometimes.
He grabs his pen and says, and he writes, be proud of yourself, taking on a man who has lost his power. I need to rest. And looking at you, you and your weasel do too.
Right. I definitely agree with that statement. Are we to rest here for the evening, or are we going to try to return?
Oh, Jim, does the water pool here, or does it seem to be doing it under a current?
The water is stagnant.
Okay, so it. Okay. As much as Griggs hates it, Tannerin lost his glasses. Griggs will go try to find his glasses in this water.
I thought Tanner had found his glasses.
Oh, he when he did it, he said when his like he looked over and they sunk under the water. I thought, or he can have them.
We can go with that.
Okay. So yeah, at least he can. At least I can do. Greg in his mind, at least he can do find his glasses.
Make an athletics check for me.
Okay. 11.
Okay. You dive in. You start swimming down, looking around for what you can find. But as the pressure builds up, you find it harder and harder to continue to swim down as your natural buoyancy is trying to push you back up. You make it a good 30 feet down. That's as far as you're able to go before you need to make me a Constitution save.
Okay. Do I need to do it now or? Oh, okay. Okay. I got a 15.
All right. You can feel as you go further, you're able to withstand the pressure. But man, your wonderful strength is not really being affected by that armor, and your buoyancy is wanting to. It feels like there's something stopping you.
Okay. Well, I'll turn around and I'll swim back up. Since the armor wants to be.
All right. Did you see what you were looking for?
No, I didn't get far enough down to actually look for it.
Well, I suppose I could send something down to help us out. Is there anything else we're looking for? And she'll kind of look over to her fallen companion. I was thinking that we should probably try to at least make him presentable before we leave here.
Well, I think we found all the stuff that he wore. So, except for the glasses that I'm still trying to look for. I don't know.
Well, I can get those glasses if you wish. If they're that important to you. I have. She shows the ring she recovered a long time ago from the church that she had many disagreements with. And she goes and she kind of looks at this. And she kind of pauses for a moment. And she kind of words something out. She says, "Can you please recover the glasses of my dearly departed friend?" And as she says this, you see what looks like a small crew of giant crabs kind of poof into existence. They look around for a brief moment, and you just see them all disperse under the water, looking for these lost glasses and any other items that may or may not have been hidden to us. And just for reference, they do have blind sight and they have swim speed and movement speed.
Okay. Oh. Yes, well, good. All right. Do you have any way to? I don't know. I'm looking for maybe give them a scent, something to help them track it down, other than a description.
Yeah, she points to the corpse of her recently departed friend and has them sniff him out so they can search for his scent in the currents.
Beautiful. They'll dive underwater and they're gone for a bit. What's going on while they're gone? Isaac looks over. And he leans back.
Do you guys have anything to say? You've been awfully quiet. I know it's not often that a friend dies. I'm not good with spouting out appropriate dirges, solemn speeches for my deceased companions.
Well, all I can say is he fought valiantly. He lived selflessly. And it's part of the reason why all of this was possible. And I'm sure he'll be remembered.
Art leans up while you all continue talking and begins writing.
Well, I hate to point this out, but if it was that creature that gave us the ability to swim here, how are we going to get out of here? You know,
I have a small collection of giant crabs who are more than willing to help.
He puts the quill back down and leans back. When you look down, he goes, you see the words, "I've found a dragon."
What do you mean you found a dragon? Is there a dragon hiding here? Hiding in the city? I don't understand.
With his head still on the ground, he rolls it side to side, and he points up.
Is it in the city above us?
He watches his head still on the ground. He points over at the paper again to the sentence that says, "You need to rest."
All right. Let's rest.
Yep. I sat down. I getting my robe.
Who's taking first watch?
I'll take first watch. I'll let the other two rest first.
All right. Who's got second?
I'll take it.
Okay. Third? Well,
Yeah,
obviously.
I'll obviously take the third watch.
Sorry, I'm used to asking for 4 watches. Cool. Then fire. Roll perception for me.
Sure. R.I.P. Dice Stream. Will not be missed. A very powerful 9.
Very powerful 9.
The most powerful of 9s.
Most powerful. Off behind you, or on the landing that y'all have decided to rest on. Almost too late. You notice a large number of bubbles surfacing behind you. And almost catching you off guard. Almost with that mighty 9. Your crabs return. And they have a very odd but familiar object. One of them has it in its claws.
Alright, just kind of looks over to the crabs, kind of eyeing them, seeing what they have. I'm guessing it's the glasses.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Alright, thank you. If there's anything else, feel free to ask. She kind of comments and kind of rolls her eyes, not exactly thinking they can respond to her anyway, but she kind of just nods off a bit, waiting for her time to be up, unless the crabs do anything unusual.
Actually, one of the other crabs scuttles forward and, with its claws, pulls something out from under it and slides forward, and you recognize it as Tanrin's +1 crossbow. Or hand crossbow, excuse me.
She kind of looks at the crossbow.
And as you're looking at it, you hear, 2 of us? You need another of me?
And Pyre kind of smirks. Well, can you transform into 2 weapons?
That I cannot do. But if I let you down, I'm sure the weapon of your fallen comrade will suffice in a pinch.
Yes, it's strictly business, nothing personal. But we'll cross that road when we get to it.
And you get the feeling of, if this crossbow had a head, it would nod. And the rest of your time is uneventful. Grix, go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Okay. Perception. Okay. I got a 16.
All right. You have a very uneventful rest. or watch. Narrow?
Yeah, just a perception roll.
Yes, please.
All right. 13.
Yours is quite uneventful as well.
Except Nero will move off to the side of the particular island. I'm guessing it's just one of the many that we're just resting on at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And as he's there, I'm just going to quickly roll for something here. He starts to feel a little bit queasy. He doesn't really understand why. He's just, looking around, and I guess it feels like butterflies in his stomach, and he doesn't really understand what's going on. And as he's there, he just starts to look a little bit more haggard. He's concentrating on looking around, seeing what he can see, and he ages by an entire year as he is taking this watch. And the Fade seems to be doing strange things to him. Okay. Sorry, he gets younger by a year because it was 1, so it's an odd roll. So yeah, he gets younger by a year.
All right. And beside that, it's pretty uneventful for you. So you wake up. Isaac Clarke is, well, the remaining two of you wake up in the middle of or near the end of your watch. Narrow, you're going to see Isaac Clarke begin to sit up, and you watch him. To you, it's obvious he is going through motions of spells, and there's not even a fizzle or a pop. It's like something's missing.
Fizzle and pop.
Like a misfire. You don't even see anything like that. It's all motions with no responses.
So our watch is over right now, or?
Yep.
Pyre would kind of notice, and she would think about it for a moment. I'm not the expert in magic. Perhaps my companion could ask this or tell you. There are a few spells, I believe, that don't have verbal components. I honestly couldn't name them off the top of my head, but perhaps you could find some safety in those spells.
And you watch him literally put his hand on his hip, bring his hands up, and go.
Unless you're trying to say that magic itself is no longer with you.
I want to ask a question. I know this is a little bit out of realm of what's in a sorcerer, but as my feature for level 11 for metamagic, I actually took subtle spell, that when I spend a sorcery point, I can cast a spell without somatic or verbal components. And I'm wondering whether Nero might be able to maybe channel this ability into Isaac at a cost. I'm happy to spend more sorcery points, or I'm happy to burn a spell slot or something. But he would try to channel his ability to cast spells in this fashion onto Isaac.
Make an Arcana roll for me.
Sure.
Oh, and I'll look at him doing that. Says, have you lost your book?
He looks over at you and goes. He points down at the note that he's written beside him. That's still there, and he points to the word dragon.
Oh, the dragon took your book.
So believe it or not, I actually rolled a crit, 25.
Beautiful. Not only have you not heard of this happening, but you've never heard of it. You've never even heard of somebody who's attempted what you're attempting, to use spell points to use their pool to not necessarily to manipulate their own spells, but to give ability to somebody else.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, so Nero shrugs and he says, I have the ability to well, the gods gave me my spells. He says, the magic sort of comes from within or them. I don't really understand it, but I know that they're listening. Maybe not replying all of the time. Maybe not replying to how we want all of the time, he says with a smirk. But, and he pauses and he says, well, we've rested. And your book is with the dragon. So, is this an evil entity?
He grabs the quill, nodding at you, and writes beside him, points at it, and it says, fog.
Fog.
Points to dragon, points to fog.
Yeah. So Nero will look at that and he'll sort of, he'll get a strange look on his face. It's like, fog. And he doesn't think of it for a second. And he goes, oh, the cause of the fog. Right. Yeah. And he looks to the rest of his group and he goes, what do you guys think?
Well, it's time for us to go. I'll look at Isaac. Are you well enough to go now, or do you still want to stay here?
And he begins to stand up.
Hold on, I'm going to need to borrow your shirt, and I'll as best as I can do it. I'll make a miner's hug, and start wrapping his shirt around him, and I'll tie it as tight as I can.
Okay.
Around where the bruising and everything is. Now look, man, this is gonna hurt a lot.
Make a medicine check then.
I got a 12.
Okay. You watch him wince in pain as you tight off tight. You feel good about the job that you've done.
Oh. So, if one of you could get him, I'll get Tanrin.
I can get some. I am miraculously have overcome my illness and I'm at full strength. So collect one and I'll get the other.
All right, everybody. Make me 3 athletics checks.
Okay.
Before you tell me anything there, Grix, you notice that Isaac Clarke is getting behind and struggling. And if you can make this athletics check at disadvantage, then you'll be able to pull him along.
Okay. So wait, I'm taking Tanrin and Isaac Clarke.
Oh, did somebody else grab Isaac? Or
I thought.
I was grabbing the other one. I have 19.
perfect. Then I apologize. Tyler,
Oh.
that's on you then.
Yes. I'm not sure which one he took, but I took the other one.
Okay. Grix grabbed Tanrin.
Yeah.
And I have Isaac.
So then this, what I just said goes for you then. If you can make give me an athletics check at disadvantage to help pull him along.
Is this in addition to my 3 rolls?
No, we're changing your first roll to a disadvantaged roll.
All right. Well, the first 2 dice rolls I have are 18 and 13 total.
Absolutely, you're absolutely fine. And what are the rest of your athletics checks, Pyre?
Was it 17? And then you need a third roll?
Yes, please.
24.
All right.
So apparently Pyre's been magically lifting over the past day or so.
Nero and Grix. And both of you have a 4.
Yeah.
Getting a 4 underwater is not always the worst thing, I suppose.
Not always the best, huh?
It's not death, I guess.
All right. Sorry, something went down the wrong pipe. Oh, man. I'll need you both to make another athletics save. Or excuse me, not save, athletics roll. We're still, yeah.
I got a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a 16.
All right. You're going to be fine. Make a constitution save for me, Nero.
All right. I'm praying I actually lose this just so that I get magical effects going. So let's see. Constitution. 11?
Just barely.
All right.
So you are not exhausted, but you are still struggling. I need another athletics save or athletics check from you.
Oh, I'm so good at these. 13.
You're fine, and your lungs are burning. When you finally come up out of, you come up out of a pool that you entered or that you've seen before, whichever one you guys aimed for, with the other two members of your group, Isaac Clark and the body of Tanrin, already out of the water.
Alright. As Nero climbs out of the water, coughing and spluttering, you realize that some of the water that he should be coughing out isn't water; it's actually grease. He just heaves and coughs and splutters. Clearly, has had trouble, but yeah, just all this grease is coming out of his mouth.
Do you need some help? Did you
Struggles.
get younger?
I don't know how much younger he looks, but he's like shrugging and he, yeah. After a minute, he's okay, but he's like, I don't know what's going on. Says,
oh, when he's still coughing, Griggs will start beating him in the back.
yeah, that's great. Thanks, friend. That's it's a bit nasty.
So, did you find the only puddle of grease underwater?
He just shrugs and he's like, I don't know, man.
Well, okay. So I'll pick Tanrin up and I'll start heading up.
All right. It's going to take you some time. And Isaac Clark is pretty wounded, and not regularly, but he'll ask a couple times, get your attention, and ask you to let him rest for a moment. But after a while, you finally make it to the hole in the ground that y'all came through. That's in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah, I'll look up and I'll holler at somebody who's ever still up there. Climb down. Or did we jump? Yeah, we did have to climb down because everybody was jumping.
Yeah, y'all used a rope. As you shout, you wait and you hear the echo of your own voice as it carries back down the cavern from whence you've come. And there's a very odd, quiet sound. Or no sound.
Is the rope still there?
Well, the rope is still there.
So Nara will tug on it to see if it's still anchored.
As you tug on it, it still seems to be pretty solid, not moving.
All right, I'll try to climb it.
Make an athletics check for me.
Yeah, I'll give him a little bit to get ahead, and then I'll follow him behind him.
Do you want a part?
Is that technically an aid? Because if it's not, I critically fail. And if it is an 8, I got 17.
If it's not an 8, what do you have?
I got 2 if it's not an 8, which is a critical failure.
Did somebody say they aided him?
Grix just said that he
Yeah, I'll help him.
pushed me some other way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then you easily be able to grab onto the rope and pull yourself up there. When you get up there, it is the oddest sound for pulling yourself up into a city. You put your hands on the edge of the hole, push yourself back up, stand up, and the first thing that you see is the fog having swirled in real tight on whoever was holding the rope. And it has left them in a state of suspended animation, unmoving, with a look over their shoulder, head turned away. And as you look around, there's, well, hell, the whole damn court, their whole damn intersection's just people the same way.
Well, immediately Nero gets scared. He's like, maybe this fog is freezing these people solid. And he goes to like maybe climb back down again, but just before he does, he's like, maybe it's not the fog. And he's going to try to discern if it's the fog that's causing this or maybe something that's past. So what could I do?
Investigate.
All right.
And who's the next one up the rope?
I'll go up the rope next, I suppose. All right, I'll climb up. You just want an athletics check?
Yes, please.
All right, so 22.
Yeah, you're fine. And you come up as he is inspecting one of these people in the fog in the same scene that you've seen. For that,
And I got a 21 for investigate.
You are quite positive that the fog is what's doing this.
Yeah. Crap. I say to the others as they're climbing up, the fog is really low and it seems to be causing these people to become frozen in place. I don't know how long we've got, but we best be careful.
From as you're saying this, and as you're climbing up, Grix, and as you've gotten yourself up higher, you hear from down one of the streets, "Is someone out there? Hey, someone really out there?"
Nero will just call out, yes. Someone is out here.
Officer Robertson comes out and sees the two of you, and Greg's starting to pull himself out. Sees Pyre, comes walking over to Pyre. What happened? I was over there helping just like you told me to. And I don't know what. Oh. But what the hell's going on? How long have you been gone? From off in the distance, you also hear another voice. And It's a woman's voice that you all recognize, being the secretary of Isaac Clarke. Hello, is everything all right? Please tell me you found him.
We found him, but he's...
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I call out, we found him. And he goes to continue, and he's like, screw this yelling. He's going to walk towards the voice.
And she moves very carefully between these people who are frozen, almost like the scene with Catherine Zeta-Jones as she's moving around all of the laser lights. Did you find Mr. Clarke? Please tell me you found Isaac.
Yes, he's alive, but he can't talk right now.
Then it's true. Whatever's happening is changing him back into the true Deva.
Nara says he found a dragon.
A dragon? What?
Yep.
He's not left the island, has he?
Nara scratches his head and says, "What do you mean?"
Well, he's never said anything about having found a dragon on the island. Did he leave the island?
I don't know. He's here. We have. You can ask him, but he's going to have to write down his answers. But we found him down in the hole. And to answer your question, a day, he says to the sergeant.
Officer Robertson looks at you. I swear you just went in that hole. We've been trapped here. And he's looking at the person holding the rope. And the last thing I remember is you going in that hole. This can't be right. And then from walking up behind you, another person. No surprise. But it's the man who's been helping you. It's the man who has let you live in his home. And he walks up, hands shoved in his pockets, looking around. This is bad.
Yeah, it is.
Do you have any idea what caused this?
He said a dragon.
Who is he?
I'll point to Isaac.
Isaac is still in the hole.
Bring him up if you want me to.
Isaac will be unable to climb out himself.
Oh, I'll tell him to grab a hold of the rope.
We can tie a rope around him and drag him up if you wish.
He at the very end of the rope, he ties a small loop, puts his foot through it, and holds on.
I'll start pulling him up.
Okay.
He said it.
When you, once you pull him up and his head crests the hole, your friend's eyes grow wide. Professor Clark. And Clark looks at the man. And looking between the three people standing there, his eyes grow wide. He starts to walk toward the woman who worked as his secretary. Looks at Officer Robertson. Turns and points to your friend, who still stands there with his hands in his pockets going, Isaac Clark quickly looks between the three of you and points at his hip. And then points at the man. Roll insight.
Oh, I rolled a 1. So I'm not catching on his charades. Jackal.
22 is diaper.
I got a natural 20 on that. With the modifier, it puts me at 23.
Sweet.
23.
Grix is Jackal? What? But Narrow and Pyre, you in that split second, you recognize that what he's doing is pointing to, if he were laying down, where the paper was. And based off of how far away he has his hand, he's pointing to the word dragon. Insinuating this man is the dragon.
And Pyre is kind of thinking about this, looking over to this man. So this, how do I word this? Is this the, which man is this? Was he the first guy we tried to rescue from falling in the hole? A different, like, there's a lot of guys here.
This is the man. The tiefling man who has been letting you live in his house.
Oh, well, that makes it a lot more clear. And Pyre kind of nods in acknowledgement. She kind of looks over to her two companions, sensing that one of them understands. The other one looks a little bit confused. So, Tiefling, how have you been?
Well, it's been strange. I've been one of the only people awake since this happened when y'all left.
That is quite the strange coincidence, isn't it?
And Isaac Clark begins backing away. Strange. No stranger than the other things that I've seen you guys do, ma'am.
For sure. Perhaps it's a tiefling thing who were just, immune to this strange fog.
Perhaps.
Although I suppose the existence of my companions here would perhaps disprove that theory.
Nero's not going to be so tricky. He's going to be like, you couldn't do something about the fog at all, could you?
Why would I be able to do something about the fog?
Oh, I don't know. You never know. People have pretty amazing abilities sometimes. You never know something's true nature.
It is a bit strange that pretty much everyone else here was very eager to jump into this hole aside from you. Must be quite the resilient individual. You might even say your fortitude is, I don't know, draconic. I mean, I suppose that's just a broad term now.
I guess you could say that. Just, why don't you come out and say what you mean?
Why don't you come out and just say what you're doing here?
Huh?
Did you give us the room out of the kindness of your heart, or was it to keep track of us? I'm just curious.
Well, sure, go ahead. He takes his hands out of his pocket, puts them in front of him. Well, I guess you figured a little bit of it out at least. You have been living in my home. I have been curious. It has been a long time since a group like you has shown up on my island. I have been watching you for much longer than you realize. As his face shimmers, and you see the father of the boy who turned into the monster the first day you came into town. Shimmers as it turns into a cat woman. Shimmers as you see a man in a glass mask. Shimmers as you watch it turn into that purple creature with the tentacles coming out of its shoulders. Noticing your reaction, Garn, I haven't done it in years, Grix. A smile crosses his face.
And finally, like Greg just clicks. You're the dragon.
And the last one crosses the finish line.
Well, yes. Yes. As you watch the body shimmer, and the shimmer seems to be shimmering within the fog as the fog reaches down to him, revealing this huge dragon that seems to be melding into the fog.
So, I'm a rather reasonable tiefling. Is this one of those things where we have to fight you? Are you that insecure with your position here.
No, you don't have to fight me. You can leave. If you wish, I would be happy to fly you myself across the river. But you, the three of you, and your friends, I will not put up with your meddling. And the dragon begins to walk around you in this intersection.
I'll look at Nero, then look at the dragon. I don't think there's going to be any walking us out. Can everybody else leave as well?
Oh no. Besides your friends and Professor Clark,
I have to ask, what color dragon is he again?
the best that you can get is seems to be melding into the mist. There is no specific color meta-wise.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay, it's a mist
So
dragon.
he's basically saying that no one can leave except for basically the party.
Professor Clark, he does not want to leave. There's more going on. My presence, let's just say that when you live in this world of eternal fog, people feel that they can get away with things. And Mr. Clark has been doing a fine job of taking care of the worst in the rest of Nevermore. He won't leave. Will you, Isaac? And Isaac steps back, again with a knowing look, realizing that this is not something he's going to be able to take alone. That maybe even he wouldn't have been able to take it on his own when he was stronger. But aside from the three of you and Mr. Clark and Mr. Robinson and Mr. Clark's secretary, nobody is even aware that I'm here.
So have you, I'm just curious, did you put everyone in the town to sleep? Or they just blissfully unaware of your presence here?
I wouldn't call it sleep. The fog has taken over their bodies and has held them in time.
I see.
Now, would you mind allowing me to fly you back across the river?
No, I think I'm good. I don't know about my friends here, but I have a feeling that these abilities that you have seen in us might just be enough in this situation. Maybe.
Do you agree with him? Is that the choice that you all make? Does he speak for the three of you?
Well, I had never ran from a fight yet.
And the dragon bows. And then eyes the tiefling. Madam?
This is a bit awkward. When I woke up today, I was not expecting to meet a dragon. At least not like this. Perhaps I could confer with the spirits of nature. Perhaps they'll tell me if I should take you up on this offer.
The dragon looks intrigued.
Yes. She kind of pauses for a moment. And she kind of looks over to her weasel companion, and she starts to mouth a spell, looking in the direction of her weasel.
Do you have a way to cast that subtly, as was stated earlier by our sorcerer?
I'm being subtle and only in that I'm making it clear that I'm casting a spell. What the spell is, if he can identify it, then he can identify it. But I'm making it look like I'm casting a spell in regards to my weasel. Whether or not he believes that is up to him. But I'm casting a spell right now.
Okay.
Does he interrupt me?
He smiles at you. And you hear him roar as the air buffets you.
Okay.
And go ahead and make initiative rolls.
Alright, does my spell cast after on my initiative or
It is cast on your initiative.
okay.
Nice. Grix, you're up first, and he's 20 feet away from you.
Okay. Then I'm gonna close the distance between me and him. I'm going to use Shocking Grasp first. Where'd it go? There it is. To use Shocking Grasp. 19.
19 will hit him.
Okay. It's 3d8 lightning. 7 plus 6, 13. 14 lightning. And I'm going to attack him with my sword.
Okay.
19.
19 will hit him.
Okay. 8 slashing. Okay, and I have this ability called Eldritch Strike.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to cut through a creature's resistance to my spells. I hit with a weapon attack. That creature has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes against spells.
Okay. You said you did how
I
much?
don't. Oh, 8 slashing.
Okay.
Okay, I was really wondering if that is just can I do that with my other ability, or do I have to just do a straight attack?
What do you mean with your other ability?
Well, my War Master, if I cast a cantrip, I can, as a bonus action, make a weapon attack.
Right.
And the Eldritch Knight says I have to have the Eldritch Strike says I have to do it with a weapon strike. So would I be able to do both?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Sounds like a weapon strike.
Everybody, make a wisdom save.
Right. Pyre got a 22. Swiper got a 25.
All right. You are all immune to its frightful presence. Swiper.
Alright, this weasel sees this. Would you say this creature is huge?
Yes.
Swiper just sees this huge dragon and has a little bit of experience fighting such beasts. And you just see this weasel just charge, spinning around to the backside of the dragon as she tries to take a chunk out of this dragon's tail with a bite attack. It's alright. Oh, that's not good. 15's gonna miss, right?
15 is gonna miss.
Alright, so you just see Swiper try to bite down on this tail, and surprisingly, dragons are covered in armor. And she kind of winces in pain as her teeth look like a little bit tender from the bite.
Okay. Make sure which one of these it is. And pretty sure I'm gonna need some saves. Yep. I need Grix and Swiper to make dex saves for me.
Okay.
So I rolled a 1. Having no dexterity, I rolled a 1.
And is that 3 today? 4.
That makes the fourth one. At least I'm getting them out the way.
You'd think that.
You take 11 bludgeoning damage as it swings its tail around itself.
Wow.
Do I take half that on a dodge?
Yes.
That's 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Pyre.
Alright, so the spell she was casting earlier finishes, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Is that my action for this turn?
It will be.
Alright.
But the spellcasting time is an action.
Yes, it does require an action. You see this dragon is suddenly surrounded by 8 winged creatures of her own, but these are much smaller creatures. These are flying snakes. These flying, multicolored, poisonous-looking serpentine flying lizards surrounding him. I'm gonna roll their initiative or put them somewhere on the initiative tracker.
Roll the initiative, yeah.
All right. An 11 on the initiative tracker.
All right.
So you just see these 8 lizards flying with snakes just kind of appear poofed up around them, almost like circling him.
Anything else?
For her action, or I guess that was her action. For her movement, you'll just see Pyre will kind of step to the side of this dragon, making sure that they're all spread out in case of the inevitable breath attack that's going to come at them.
Okay.
So the swiper is on the rear side, looking at the rear forward. Pyre would be on the right side of the dragon.
Okay. Narrow.
All right. So he's created all of these flying serpents. That's cool. Well, she has. Narrow. He's looking at what? Yes. So Nero will look over to Pyre and to Grix, and he will begin to cast haste.
All right.
And so he'll take off his helmet. He'll breathe into it, and a yellow glow, the sort of glow that pierces fog, that sort of dull type of fog light will sort of appear in the helmet, and then will rise and will split and will hover over to Grix and to Pyre and rest upon them for the period of my concentration.
All right.
And that will be my turn.
All right. I need all 8 of your snakes and Pyre and Swiper and Grix to make another dexterity save.
Okay. Damn it. I got a 1 again.
Oh my god.
Melt
Stop
that
it.
top. Melt it.
Alright, Pyre got an 18, Swiper got a 16.
All right. Pyre, you're going to make it, but Swiper's not going to make it.
Okay.
How about your snakes?
Sure. What's the magic number I need to get here?
Actually, 17.
Alright, 4 out of the 8 pass.
All right. That is then. Where'd it go? That will be 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And you're knocked prone. And the dragon will fly up. If you would like to make attack rolls against it, if you've been knocked prone, you have disadvantage as it moves straight up away from you.
Okay.
So is that all of us, or?
Only those who are within melee range.
Okay.
I rolled an 18.
Total for your disadvantage?
Yeah, one of them's wait, 17 because I rolled a 12 and a 13.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The 17 is going to miss.
Okay.
Any others from you, Pyre?
Yeah, would this just be a melee weapon attack, I'm guessing? Or can I shoot my bow?
You know, I've never checked. I've never had it happen. Can you?
Rules as written, it's technically a melee weapon. So
It's what?
technically, I believe it is a melee attack. So I will, I'll hit him with an improvised weapon attack of my magic crossbow against his head.
Go for it.
Miss. And Swiper will try to bite that as well.
Swiper has disadvantage.
I botched my rolls again, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Any of the serpents?
They're all dead, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't say save for half. So if you
Save.
saved those 4 that you said,
Oh, okay. Well
So
then,
four would still be up.
I'll make the attacks then. All right, that will be 20.
yep.
It's a miss. God, my rolls are just ass. A 5, a 3, and a 4 on the die, so 1 will hit.
Okay.
And he'll take 7 poison and 1 piercing damage.
Okay. Y'all get the feeling that you are not doing much to it. Where are we? And it has flown up into the sky and into the mists.
Okay.
You have your 4 flying snakes.
All right. They fly after him.
What's their speed?
They have 60 fly speed,
Cool. So,
and they have blind sight.
great. They will be able to, with their 60 feet, they won't be able to get to him, but they'll be able to see him.
Okay.
You want to use your action to move up to him as well?
Yeah, they'll spread out around him. One will be underneath him. One will be above him. One will be on the left side. One will be on the right side.
Okay. Then it comes to Grix.
Well, I'm going to get up. Then I'm guessing he's further than 30 feet away from me, isn't he?
Yes, and
Okay.
he's more than 60 feet away, so he has concealment from you.
So does that mean I can't see him?
Correct.
Oh. I'm gonna find cover.
Okay. You can. There's easily a building to fly into around here.
Yeah, I'm gonna find cover and wait for him to show up again.
And all right. You see that as you go running off for cover, some of the people who were frozen in time have were killed by the buffeting of the wings. And you watch as those people then begin to move in a mist-like form. And one comes to each of you. And they'll each make an attack against you, against the PCs only, not going up against Swiper. So, Grix, it's going to be a 22 to hit you. Pyre, it's only going to be a 9 to hit you. And Narrow, it's going to be a 20 to hit you.
I'm going to use my reaction to cast shield.
Okay.
And take it.
Okay. Oh, come on. All right, Narrow, you're going to take 4 necrotic damage. And your strength score is reduced by 2.
All right.
The dragon will allow them to will fly even higher. The 4 of them can make their attacks against him. Fire?
Yeah.
The dragon flies up away from them.
All right. Well, all 4 will attack him if they can.
Okay.
Nineteen, 22, 17. What's his armor class?
18.
18. Well, 2 of those hit.
Okay.
Right. That is takes 18 poison damage and 2 piercing damage. As you see these snakes just hiss and slatch onto his knees as he tries to fly away.
Okay. Flying up, he flies off to a distance to catch them all in this 60-foot cone.
Okay.
I need dex saves from them.
If it's a breath attack and it's saved for half, they only have 5 hit points.
So they'll die with 12d10.
Yeah, they're done.
Yes, that is true.
You can pop them out of the initiative order.
And with his move, will come flying down and land in the midst of no, he won't be able to come all the way down. He'll fly 80 feet down, and that puts him right on the edge of the fog, and so you will all be able to see him now.
Okay.
Swiper.
Swiper sees this. I don't know what does it look like a mist creature.
Yes.
Swiper will just instinctively rush up and try to bite it.
Go for it.
All right. Does a 16 hit?
Absolutely.
All right, you just see Swiper lunge out and just bite whatever this weird ghost thing is. for 10 damage.
All right, it is still left barely standing.
Okay.
Pyre.
All right. Pyre will immediately, with her crossbow out, take a shot at the creature right in front of her. That will be. Let's go for it. Is a 15 hit?
Absolutely.
All right. The minimum damage on that strike is. Let's see here. Is 6. Will it survive 6?
It will.
All right. Let me roll the damage then. 10 damage.
And that missed creature dies, and you watch as the body of the person slowly evaporates and joins the fog. Anything else?
All right. With her bonus action, she'll take a shot at the dragon.
Go for it. It's 60 feet up, if that means anything to you.
Yes, disadvantage. 21 to hit still.
Absolutely.
That is 6 damage. And then with her action, she also has haste. So it's whatever. For her spell action, she's going to cast a spell.
Okay.
And that'll be Conjure Animals again.
Okay.
It has a range of 60 feet. And you said he's 50 feet away?
60 feet.
He's 60 feet away? All right. She'll cast a spell right on him. And he'll be surrounded by flying snakes again.
Okay.
And she'll run into a building, obviously. Try to get cover from him.
Okay.
And that'll be it. She'll just kind of rush over. She's fast enough to just hop into a building, kind of duck down. Try to get over side.
Roll initiative for your snakes.
For sure.
Narrow.
I have 10 initiative again.
Okay. You're muted. You're muted, Narrow.
Sorry.
It's all right.
The dragon can be seen, so I am going to heighten chromatic orb. And I'm going to try and cast that at 5th level. It's got a 90-foot range.
Make an insight roll for me. Isaac Clark bobs and weaves out from some people, and you watch him point to himself, give the big, and point to the sky.
All right. So an insight roll. Is 18.
All right. You understand enough of what he's saying. He pointing to himself, he's meaning like don't use fire.
Okay.
But whatever else he was doing is lost on you.
All right. Well, I'm going to choose acid.
Okay.
It'll be a 24 to hit.
Absolutely.
And it'll be... I've got to add all this up for 5th level. So it's 12, 22, 28, 33, 41 acid damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely made him mad.
I'm sure it did. Yeah, and I guess how this looks is Nero will just spit into his helmet and just plunge his hand into there and grab the spittle and just toss it into the air. And as he tosses it, it just sort of grows and grows and grows into this glob of acid and just splashes all over the dragon. And that is his action. So, the position that we are on the ground, like if he comes down to like slam like on the ground or something, Nero would try to separate himself from the rest of the group so that he can't just come down and
the rest of the group have already separated themselves from you. Both of them
from
me. Separate buildings.
All right, cool. I'm good then. So yeah, that's.
You still do have that missed person on top of you.
Okay. I can't really do much about that right now. So, I mean, that's my turn. I don't have a bonus action at this point, so.
Okay. Grix, you have a shadow person on you.
Yep. How far away is the one that's on Nero?
Nero hasn't moved from his original position yet.
Right.
And you've run 20 feet, and we'll say 40 feet.
Okay. All right. Grix will breathe in, and then he's fixing a hock a loogie. And when he spits, it's
don't forget you've been hasted, so you've got a bonus to your speed.
Oh.
Yep, for as long as I can concentrate anyway. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm still going to hock a loogie. To try, I'll try to pull him off of him, and it's going to be acid arrow.
Okay.
I have to make a ranged attack. Yeah, I looked at I have this nice little old ability, but I have nothing that requires anybody to make saving throws.
Does that apply to any saving throw he makes? Because I mean, maybe an ally can get the benefit.
It's saving throws versus my spells.
Does it say your spells or any spell? I don't know. I don't play Oversnakes.
Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get one thing.
I'll find it for you so you can keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Seven. It's arranged. 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
Okay.
Clarification on your Eldritch Strike.
Yeah.
That creature has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes against a spell you cast before the end of your next turn.
Right. That's the reason I said it's weird that after I pick that ability up, I have no spell that requires any. Oh. No, I don't have anything that requires a saving throw.
If you cast light on him, totally.
Light.
Yes.
Oh, that would be cool. Okay, so he's going to take this little mist thing's going to take 4d4 acid. Yeah. Okay.
Are you attacking the
one that's
person?
Yeah, the one that's on Nero.
Okay.
I'm going to try to draw him off of Nero. 4, 7, 9. Okay, 13 acid damage. And damage me. And 2, and then I'll do another 2d4 acid at the end of its next turn.
Okay.
So.
So
And
what was the damage?
13.
Okay.
Okay. And now for my little. What is that? Okay, and now for my hasted attack. Is it just one attack, or am I attacking like I?
Yeah, it's just
It's-
one extra attack. It's not an action.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't cast. It's just weapon attack.
Right. Okay. Just making sure before I went all into my furious weapons. Okay, and the one on me. 22.
22 will hit.
12 slashing damage to hit.
All right. The flying snakes.
Yeah, you see these flying snakes just swarm around, and they all try to bite down on this dragon guy. Is that cool?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Miss. Oh my goodness. One hit. Oh my god, these rolls are outstanding. All right. You have 2 normal hits and a critical hit.
Good deal.
So, how do you do crits again? Just the normal way?
The initial roll is maxed, and the extra die that you roll is rolled.
Sure. That's 19 plus 3, which is 22, plus 12, 36 damage.
You all feel as you're getting some great hits, but you only feel about half as effective.
Okay.
At which point, Narrow, your 4 can make attacks on him again because he's coming down for Narrow. Narrow's hurt him the most so far.
He's going to fly past my snakes.
Absolutely.
All right, well, there's 8 snakes on him.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll roll. Luckily, I have a macro set up, so I'm gonna do some of this. Okay. Hit 3, 4 hits, 5 hits. His armor class is 17 or it's 18?
18.
All right, he gets hit 4 times as he flies past them. That is 28 damage total.
All right. He flies down, and he is... Yeah, he's coming after you, man. Here we go. He's going to come up to you and bite and claws.
Sure thing.
The bite is a 17. That'll miss. Yeah, an 18, right?
Correct.
2 claws. 20.
I am going to cast shield.
All right, and that's good because that stops the third claw from hitting the second claw from hitting as well.
All right. So Nero will just raise his shield, right? His proper shield, and he'll mutter some words and like a larger like sort of glowing orb that sort of follows the curve of the shield will appear around Nero for the few seconds that it takes for the dragon to try to rip into him, and then he'll put down his shield and he'll just look up at the dragon and go.
Swiper.
All right, Swiper just charges up to make some strikes out against him. The weasel trying to not bite into its tail and break her teeth this time. That is 24 to hit.
What are you attacking again?
The dragon.
Okay.
Is there a spirit up right now? Is there just the one on?
There is the last one that was remaining on Grix.
All right, on Grix. Is Grix right next to the dragon?
No, Grix went into a building.
That's right. He's on his own. All right. So, but the dragon did attack Nero, right?
Yes.
All right. So you just see Swiper just rush up and claw into the dragon for 12 damage.
For 12?
Yeah. My weasel can help you, but you're not nearby, so.
You finally bloody it.
All right. That's good.
At which point, I need dex saves from
Yep.
from Nero and Swiper.
Sure. Dex. I got 8, so I fail.
Swiper's pretty good at dex saves. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
28 for Swiper.
Sweet. So then it's 10 bludgeoning if you saved, 5 if you didn't.
You mean the other way around?
Yeah. 10 if you didn't, 5 if you did.
I knew I should have failed that save.
I keep the favorite always.
I have to just quickly check my concentration.
That's DC 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Has
Oh,
the mist people went yet?
Grix, shadow monster. That's the shadow. The fish. Yeah.
Wow. Words are hard.
The
Fish.
shadowfish mist thing.
Grix, that's a 23 to hit you.
I'm shielding it.
You're gonna shield again?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll miss. Pyre.
All right. Pyre sees this gigantic dragon creature land down on the ground, and she was kind of a bit miffed that had the audacity to challenge us when she was happy to let it go. But wants to fight, she'll fight. So you just see her poke her head out from behind one of the walls of a building. She lines up a shot at this dragon and just takes it. Clean shot right at his side. Oh my, that was sketchy. It's a 16 to miss.
Mhm.
And then a 29 to hit.
The 29 will hit.
20 damage. That's not how it works. That's 10 damage.
Okay.
And then with her haste, she'll take one more shot at it. Oh my god, these rolls. That's a 16. You just see her rapid firing out with this crossbow. You just hear click, 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 click. And she's just, apparently she's spraying and praying and doing more spraying than anything. You just see a hailstorm of bolts just miss. That's it.
The swiper attack?
Yes, she'll use her reaction to. She'll use the distraction of the bullet spray to jump out and. 17. You said his armor class was 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a miss. My rolls are pretty great, as always. So yeah, it's another miss. You just see everything flying everywhere and just nothing hits. It's like an action movie basically.
All right. Make those deck saves again, Swiper and Narrow. I'll take it.
Swiper got a 23.
14.
That's not going to be enough. The deck save DC 17. So if you save, you take 9. If you didn't, you take 18.
18. All right. Sure. And I need to check my concentration again.
Still 10.
I know.
Yep.
Said 9 if you passed.
Yes.
All right. Swiper looks pretty badly injured after that, but still technically alive.
Yep.
Narrow, it's your turn.
Sure. And he's right next to me.
Yep.
Okay. First of all, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon. So that's a level 2 spell. Let's mark that off. So do I have the attack in there? One second. And the damage is 1d. Right. Oh, I could cast it. When you cast this, damage increase for every 2 slots. I'll actually cast it as a 4th level spell.
Okay.
That will mean that the damage dice increases to 2d8 instead.
Make a quick insight roll for me.
All right. Insight. Just let me press the button. 1 second. Okay. All right. Insight. I only got a 10.
Okay. Clark has popped back out of the building and has not seen you cast fire again, but is is fervently pointing toward the sky. And
You have, yeah, I have no idea. All right. So I got. I'm just on 18 to hit. Will 18 actually hit it?
18 will actually hit it.
All right. So it's 14 force damage from the weapon, and then I'm going to cast a cantrip because casting it is a bonus because spiritual weapon is a bonus action. So as a cantrip, I am going to attempt to cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. Isaac Clark's eyes went wide watching your magic weapon hit the dragon, and you got thumbs up.
Okay. So the Shocking Grasp will also hit for 17 lightning damage.
That's shocking.
From the shocking grasp, you got, but from the spiritual weapon, you got a big thumbs up.
Just cast 9th level magic missile. You'll be good. It's never.
I could
it's
cast it
never
at 6. I could cast it at 6 level.
Maybe not 6th level. It's pretty good at level
But
1.
you do realize that the force damage actually, whatever resistant was going on, you pierced that with the spiritual weapon. However, you still don't recognize what that has to do with him fervently pointing into the air.
To the sky, yeah. Cool. That is awesome. So that's my turn.
Grix, you still have a shadow or a mist creature on you.
Jackal. We'll call him Jackal.
You still have Jackal on you. Whoa.
Okay, then I'm going to. You said I'm inside the building.
You can choose what kind of building it is.
Right, but I was thinking of how to get past this mist creature.
Dive through a window if you want to.
Okay, then I will jump through a window. I don't care. I will matrix a big window, small window, whatever.
Make me a Constitution save.
I got a 17, I believe.
Okay, jumping through the window, you get some scratches on you, but nothing enough to bother you.
Alrighty. And how far away is that? Okay. That
40.
Okay, and then I want to move towards the dragon.
Okay.
I don't know how much movement it took for me to jump through the window, so I'm just.
It doesn't take any extra movement, and you've got a movement
Okay,
of
then
20 right now, right? As of haste.
I don't. Well, it's normally 30 unless they've fixed it to where heavy armor lessens your speed.
No. Haste gives you 10 feet extra movement, doesn't it?
Doubles your base movement speed.
It says double.
Double your
Double.
base.
Double.
Yeah.
It'll give you 10 if your speed is 10, I guess, but that's pretty good.
Okay. Then I'm going to move to the dragon. And I'm going to move to dragon, cast Shocking Grasp
Okay.
on him. I got a 20. Thank you for holding the dice. I handed it to my wife and said, "Could you hold this for me?"
Perfect.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll that crit for me then.
Okay. Let's see. 3d8, 3 times 8. 24. Okay. 24. 28. 8. 28 plus 5 is... 28 plus 5 is...
33.
33. Okay. And one more. 33. 38 lightning damage. Then my sword... what is the attack? I rolled 19.
19 will hit it.
Okay. 6 slashing. Well, let's see. Now I have a question.
Yes.
Using the haste's ability to make the other attack, could I, after that, use my action surge to get another attack, or does it not
action
work like
surge
that?
action surge would give you another action altogether, so you get your full set of attacks.
You get
Okay.
2 sets of actions plus 1 attack from use. That's like hyper speed, though.
Okay, so I'm going to do that, but I'm just going to cut him up with my sword since I've now got 3 attacks. I'm not lightning him again. I want to use my melee weapon.
It's an action, so that's like 7 attacks.
Let's see. I got 16. That wasn't the first hit.
It'll miss.
Okay. I got 18.
That'll hit.
Okay, and 18. I got 20.
That'll hit.
Okay. So 15. 19 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the other attack from the haste,
Okay.
which is 26.
26 damage?
No, God, no! I don't have a sword that would do that. 26 to hit.
Well, yeah, 26 to hit was fine.
11 slashing damage. Man, I wish I had a sword that would do 26 damage.
All right. You're flying snakes that are 80 feet up in the air, or 60 feet up in the air.
Yeah, they fly 60 feet down, get into range with him.
Perfect.
And they bite him. They just go, and they bite him. So, his armor class is 18, right?
Yes.
Right. To hit them, they need to roll 12. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them hit.
Okay.
They do a total of 30 damage.
This dragon is pissed, and everybody within 10 feet of it needs to make a dex save, DC 17.
All right. Dex save.
Is for a buffet or something else?
Say what?
Just put the buffet or for a breath or what
This
is
is
it?
for the tail.
Uh-oh. Is this a save for half spell because it might just kill them?
Yep, save for half.
Okay.
It's 15 damage, bludgeoning damage if you save.
Alright, all of the snakes are down and Swiper is down.
So 15 if we save, or 15 before we save?
15 if you fail, 7 if you save.
Okay, so I take 7. And I have to pass my concentration check. DC 10. And I do.
Good deal. Grix and Nero. Yeah. Grix and Nero. The dragon does not fly away. It's literally, it pushes itself back, and you watch one hand clamp down and the other hand clamp down. You both get an attack on it.
A melee attack?
Yep.
All right. Would I have needed an actual weapon in hand? Like, because my real weapon is in my belt because I've got my wand.
Don't you have your spiritual weapon somewhere around here?
Oh yeah, can my spiritual weapon do it? Cool. All right. Sure, I will do that.
I rolled an 18.
That'll hit it.
11 slashing.
Woo-hoo.
All right. Just gonna roll for that. Second. Just doing that now. I only got a 16 on the spiritual weapon attack, so I miss.
16 will miss. And he jumps back far enough to get you both in his cone. Dex saves DC 16.
Yeah. Dex saves 22.
I just barely scraped by. I just barely got the 16. I love your haste, man. I love the haste.
It's pretty good.
With it gives you the advantage, right?
On
Yeah,
Dex.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said I rolled an 11 and a 16.
Oh my gosh. I didn't roll hardly. I didn't even make half damage on this breath weapon.
Oh no. What did you get?
37.
37. So I'm still down.
Well, 37 if you fail your save.
Yeah, I succeeded, but I still take half. So
18
I'm
damage.
down.
It's 18 if you don't.
Yeah, I'm down. I was on 15, so I'm down.
And that makes the two of you sluggish, right?
Yeah.
Unconscious, yeah.
So, Pyre's
So haste is gone.
Pyre's looking a little sleepy right now.
When the spell ends, what are they under?
I believe we just lose our turn.
Yeah, 1 second.
The precise wording.
Grix, are you still up? Probably.
Yeah, I'm up. I ain't looking too good, but I'm
When
up.
the spell ends, the target can't move or take actions until after its next turn, as a wave of lethargy sweeps over it. So you don't take any negative statuses, you just can't move or take actions. You're just really tired.
Okay. Nero, I need a death save then.
All right. Death save.
Y'all are so close.
6. So I fail.
Got one fail.
Yep.
Death save for Pyre. Or Swiper, excuse me.
I was like, oh my god, I'm unconscious too. All right, 1d20. That's a very impressive 3.
Okay.
So the weasel's just kind of rolling around on the ground.
And it goes running up toward Grix now. And it is going to go full-on attack on Grix. So you can't do any actions until after your next turn, right?
You just lose the one turn, yeah.
All right, so you can still take reactions now.
Technically, I guess, yeah. It says you can't take actions or move, so you could do a reaction.
Well, we've already passed your turn, so you should, even if it meant reactions, you should be able to do it now.
Yeah.
It's a 23 to hit you, Grix.
Yep, I'm shielding.
What?
I said, yep, I'm shielding.
That's good.
The second one misses.
Wait. 18. He would still hit me because if he rolled a 23, it's at 23. So I still get hit for the first one.
So are you not shielding then?
I think he's gonna shield anyway.
I'm still shielding, but I'm just,
Okay.
In character, when a dragon attacks you, you cast shield, even if it doesn't work.
The second one misses you, but the third one is 25 to hit you. So the first damage that you take, finally, 20 points of piercing. And a claw. Oh, shoot, really? 9 points of slashing.
I'm still up. I'm hurt, but I'm still up.
And you watch as it, right in front of you, front paw down, start to breathe in. Swiper, death save.
All right. You're a good swiper. Don't worry about this. You got this.
No, not once.
Ah, just a 3.
2 fails. Pyre.
Okay. All right, so I'm good now, right? I missed my 1 turn, so I'm good up now.
Yep.
All right, Pyre kind of looks at this beast, a little bit worried. Clearly not having the greatest of times here. And she will cast, what is this thing called here? She'll cast Lightning Arrow. I know you probably resisted or whatever, but actually, I'll cast Lightning Arrow. It doesn't matter. So you just see her her arrows ignite with magic as she takes a shot at him. It's a 16, so that's going to be a miss. You see the arrow miss, but as it misses, you see the electricity jump off the arrow and hit him. Oh my god, these rolls are outstanding. 4 damage. 4 lightning damage.
Art. Okay.
Yeah. These are the rolls of heroes right here.
Do you have anything else?
Well, she's in a building right now, so you'd hear her probably duck down behind a corner and try to get out of sight.
So, just a quick question. Did you take Tanrin's hand crossbow?
Yeah, that's what I've been using.
Oh, you've been using Tanrin's?
Yeah, it's a +1 weapon.
Okay. Well, you do have yours still, and it's loaded.
I would. Trust me, I would. But lightning arrows is a bonus action.
Ah, okay.
Probably shouldn't have done it, but I had to try. So yeah, you just see her botch the shot and then duck behind a wall.
Okay. Narrow, death save.
Yeah. Gotta love these things. All right, death save. It's a 15, so that's a 1 pass.
All right. Grix, you are up.
Alrighty. I'm going to use my bonus action. Let me make sure that this thing doesn't say.
Second wind.
Yep.
Also known as half a dragon hit.
Yep, here's hoping. Okay.
Level 11. You get a pretty big bonus to that.
9 plus 11.
20.
I get 20 back.
I was like, is that your attack? Oh.
No, not yet. Yeah. Now I'm fixing to start attacking.
Get it, man.
Okay. 26.
Absolutely
Nice.
hit.
20.
That hits as well.
And 19.
All 3 of those will hit.
All right.
Ripple hits.
15.
Multi-hit.
Hit a Manjaro.
Combo breaker.
20, 28.
You say the ball breaker?
Huh?
Did you say the ball breaker?
No, I said combo breaker.
Oh.
28.
You don't know Killer Instinct. I'm very sad for you.
36 damage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
Drago is feeling that too.
This dragon looks like it's on its last leg.
Hey, it's dragon versus dragon.
Damn right.
And it's its turn.
Damn it, dragon.
Actually, No, after that, it is going to attempt to get away. So, since you can't make a save while you're dying, right?
What do you mean?
The wing attack is all creatures within 10 feet.
Yeah, that's just an automatic failure.
Yeah, it's automatically a fail.
Okay.
Hurry, Nero, get consciousness and put haste back up. I need it.
You can't dodge when you're unconscious, just saying.
Okay, so that's 18 bludgeoning. Just straight to arrow. I need a dex save from you, Grix.
Oh, okay.
You don't get the bonus anymore.
I know. That's the reason why I said he needs to come. He needs to come to consciousness so I could get haste back.
When I take damage, I get an automatic fail, don't I? Is that
Yes.
how it works?
Yes.
All right, on 2 fails.
And I rolled a 15.
All right, so you're going to take the 18 damage as well.
Alrighty.
Are you up?
Yep.
It begins to take off.
No, it's not. Get him. Baseball bat.
Well, I don't have my chair. I left it in the tunnels.
I thought you mean table, right?
Table, yeah.
Steel steps. I'm sure there's some of those around here.
Is he close enough that I can make an attack on him?
Yes.
Okay. Then, yes, I would like to. 26.
Yes. Absolutely. Come on, Grix. I'm cheering you on.
Captain Cave.
This dragon looks like it's on its last leg.
13 slashing damage. Well, it's the only thing I got. I mean, I can only make one attack unless you count if my spell were giving him the evil eye will do damage. I will totally give him the evil eye.
Okay, well, you've done. Let's see. It has 191 hit points, and you, with that 6 it just took, have brought it to 193.
Oh.
How do you kill him?
How do I kill him?
Yep.
Oh, like he's about to fly off. Grix cuts into his wing, and when he turns around, Grix is leapt up and plunged his sword into him and put both feet down like he's pulling, and just pull him open from stem to stern until he falls onto the floor, the ground, and whatever is held behind the breastbone falls out.
And you watch as the body, the torn and mangled body that you have left there, begins to evaporate. And as it begins to evaporate, you watch the other people, that's whatever's the fog that's holding them in place, it evaporates off of them until a sight that is recently familiar to you, but not to everybody else, cuts through the fog as the fog begins to burn away over Nevermore and Tremir's Wall. And Swiper, death save.
You got this, Swiper. You're a hero. That's a nat 1.
That's 2 fails.
It's not 2 fails. That's 4 fails.
Oh, you already had 2 fails, didn't you?
Yes.
Swiper has passed. Pyre, it's your turn.
All right. Pyre will rush out from her position, looking for this dragon, only to see it collapse on the ground. And as she's kind of looking at the aftermath of this melee, she sees Nero on the ground, unconscious, And in her mind, she just hopes that he's not dead as well, like her other friend recently passed, Tanrin. And she'll just rush up and cast her strongest healing spell on him. She'll use her final level 3 spell slot and cast Cure Wounds on him. And you see her try to channel all of her healing energy into him. Is that alright? Oh, there we go. Those healing dice are feeling generous as they drop a 1, a 1, and an 8. So you get healed for 12, assuming you're not dead.
I am not dead, but I need to narrate something here. So 12. All right, let me just quickly roll. All right, so Nero will begin to come to life again, coughing and spluttering. And I rolled that. And so Nero will stand and he looks utterly confused. I have just cast the confusion spell on myself. So I'm affected by confusion.
Perfect. This is perfect for you. Wake up. Where am I? Oh, what? I'll fight anybody.
So let me just find confusion and I will figure out what's going on. You guys can see, but he looks, yeah, very, very confused. All right, so can't take reactions, rolls a d10. Enough of that, Chocks. No, up you get. Roll d10. So 6. 6. I don't move or take any actions. That's okay. So yeah, he'll stand up. He's coughing. He looks confused, and he's not doing anything.
Are you all right? You seem very, what's the word? Confused. And
There's no reply.
she'll do the only thing that a trained professional would do in this situation. You see the very powerful tiefling grab you and just shake you, because that's the greatest way to fix confusion.
The trained professional.
Please look, put your eyes on me. I know it's a little bit strange of a request, but are you all right?
Still no reply.
I'm slapping him.
All right, I'm gonna roll a dice here again as you slap me. Oh, cool. Yeah. So Nero sort of comes out of his trance. And he's like, "What? What's going on? It's like he didn't even hear you. It's like, is it dead? Is the corpse there? Like, is it?"
It's a misty thing, right? There's no corpse left. It's kind of vanished in the mist.
It's like, did you get it? Did we get it?
I think so.
Grix is drenched in dragon, whatever color blood. Yes, we got it. I need alcohol.
Does the fog lift in the city now, by the way?
Yes, absolutely. And everybody is moving and excited, and there is no sign of your friend who let you stay at his house.
And Pyre kind of looks around, looking for Swiper, and she can't find the creature immediately, but after just a few moments of searching, she finds the collapsed husk of her dearest companion on the ground, and she kind of looks away and just kneels down and collects her best friend and doesn't say anything. I have to go. I'll be back later. and you just see Pyre kind of walk out of sight, trying not to cry in front of her companions.
Pyre, Dylan's cut to you. Tell us what is going on. Tell us how you're dealing with this situation and the loss of your best friend. And just let us know what's going on.
Yeah, Pyre is a very proud individual, and although she's like deeply distraught by this, she refuses to let her companions know how she feels about this. She doesn't like to look weak. It's like when she lost her gauntlets, but much worse. And you just kind of see for maybe a few minutes she's gone, and she's trying her best not to cry, but as soon as she knows they're not nearby, just kind of you might be able to hear the faint bawling of a very distressed individual. So sorry, Swiper. I should have been there for you. And as she's kind of musing and almost like on the edge of tears, you just kind of see her as she kind of comes to terms with the passing of her friend. She says, sorry, Swiper. If there's a way, I'll try to bring you back, but I understand if you're off in whatever happy little place that suits you. And with that, she would eventually come back to see her friends, and Swiper would not be there with her. She kind of limps back as if she was injured from the fight.
Grix? Huh.
Yes.
Grix? As Pyre walks off, tells you that she'll be back. What happens in the following moments for you?
I go in the little area, the place that I jumped out of is actually, it's like I said, it with his thing of needing alcohol, it's actually a bar. He goes behind the thing, and he gets their strongest liquor that's not fruity, and walks over and sits down next to Tanrin and pulls the top and says, "To you, my friend." And he drinks a big swig of it, just sitting there, reflecting on fighting possibly an ancestor.
And how is this chaotic magic going for you in the following moments? Nero?
Yeah. So Nero snaps out of the confusion, and he has this moment of clarity, and he looks around and he sees the corpse of Tanrin and the corpse of the weasel that is his friend's companion. And he is saddened, and he looks into himself and just feels completely out of control, and he just disappears where he's standing, and he appears in a manifestation of the physical void of the Fade. He is looking at what the Fade looks like, and he sees it in his vision, and it's just overwhelming. Just the colors and the shapes and it's like you're tripping, but he just doesn't. He can't take it in because it's just overwhelming, and it just flows all around him and within him. and then he appears back where he was standing, and he just looks different. You don't know why. It's the same physical appearance. Something has changed about him. Whether it's emptiness or fullness, you're unsure.
And lastly, you are offered through Clark. He thanks you. Through a written decree. You're also being allowed, like, to. There's a stack of pages that he'd be happy for you to help him with as he tries to learn how to relearn how to cast strictly nonverbal. And then also says that there's much out there from what you've told us you've run into. There's still a boy who changed. But that is if you'd stay.
I'll stay.
Well, I suppose we've already committed somewhat to this location. I suppose I could.
Nero tries to speak, but pink bubbles come out of his mouth.
You still get looked at sideways.
I think that means
You're right.
yes.
Say what?
So I think that means yes. 3 bubbles are yes, 2 bubbles are
So, then tell me some of your exploits. What happens here in the town? What kind of adventures does this leave you with? And we'll start with Grix this time. Or even, you could even tell us about what happens long after you are finished with Nevermore.
well, that little bauble he found with the dragonborn on the sphere has messed, been on it, was on his mind after they had got done with the fight with the dragon and after they laid Tanrin to rest. He did some. He had got some help in digging more into it, and it was the urn that was kind of like the story of the Dragonborn, and it said that they had came from the east, so Grix made a journey east to see if he couldn't find remnants or maybe even more of a dragonborn culture. And he found a smaller settlement, but it used to be larger, but they spread out after the cataclysm. They kind of spread it out. So he was still left with more answers more questions than answers. So he returned back to Nevermore to help Isaac Clarke with the rest of the stacks of papers, and just let himself be seen around. And he did fix the car. He tinkered around with it until he got it to move 5 feet before it broke back down.
Nice. How about you, Nero?
Nero is finally able to speak and act normally. What he does is he'll go to Isaac and he will ask to purchase or to take some of the books that Isaac has written here with him on his journeys, and he will say farewell after helping a few random people in the town with a couple of things. And what he would do is he would go to the shore and he would call for the aquatic creatures that we met, and he would wait for them, and eventually the one that we struck the deal with would appear, and Nero would look sad, and he would say, "I can no longer keep my side of the bargain, my friend. I have experienced near death, and I have come back, and I am racked with magical effects that completely have changed the way that I see things and the way that I feel. And I refuse to let your friend go through such an experience. I'm sorry that he passed, but I cannot do that to him." And then Nero would take his leave, would give this person whatever he had, and would go back to Shaddar's Dale. And he would deliver Isaac's books to a certain elf, Valina, who is just thrilled to get such materials, and he would declare that he would never use magic again, and he would join the army and become a commander. And he spends his time as a commander fashioning a new set of playing cards of his own design. And when a promising young recruit comes along, he would gift these playing cards to this promising young recruit and tell the stories of Nevermore and the places and the people that he met, and tell him to remember. And that's how he would spend his days.
Fire.
Yes, Pyre, alone, she buries her trusted weasel companion and leaves behind a chunk of boar meat, perhaps Swiper's favorite treats. And she goes back to working in the town, trying to clear up the remainder of the issues there. And she continues on with that, cleaning up most of the trouble in the town, ever promoting her leather worker associate, who is so kind to create the most beloved outfit she's ever worn. The black and red colored stud leather armor. And true to her word, she mentioned that every day for the rest of her days there. until one day, upon visiting the grave of her companion, she was met with another weasel. Uh, Whether or not this was the true companion she had lost come back to life, or simply another, that's not quite clear to those around her. But she collected her new companion and would eventually wander off, leaving the town to their own devices, to seek out other locations, perhaps those in need of the assistance of a rabid weasel and her slightly less rabid tiefling companion.
And as as we as our story comes to an end, we see Professor Clark standing in the shadow of a statue with his secretary beside him. And you see him looking up. He looks over beside him, and the secretary puts her hand on his shoulder and says, "Mr. Clark, don't you think it's time to stop?" You watch him smile. You watch him put his hand on her shoulder, close his eyes for just a moment, focus, beat a sweat. And she goes, "I hear you. I understand. You're getting better. I don't know how you do it, but you're getting so much better." She looks up in the shadow of the statue. "Come on, let's go home. I'm sure there's some people ready to be helped." And as you watch them from the front turn and walk away from the shadow, the camera will move around and watch them step away. And as it continues to pan back, where once stood the statue of the Steam Knight, you see 5 companions. Tanrin, an old man in his armor, with his back facing the way that the other 4 figures are looking over his shoulder. The Dragonborn standing tall in the back, blade across his shoulders, and with almost his hand outstretched with, it almost seems as though they've put a glass hand on him that is lit. You see another with his helm turned upside down under his arm, hand across his heart. Another tiefling bent down at the front, danger in her eyes, with her hand on the back of a large weasel. Panning back, seeing Nevermore and the broken skyline of what remains of Eotha. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all being a part of this game. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Clyde. Thanks, Caleb. Even though you died last game. Appreciate you guys for being a part of this for, gosh, nearly a year, somewhere around there. Look forward to more. I'm Jim the GM, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.